Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and a Lego set tonight. And I'm happy to see you all. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote into the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those emotes back at me and let me know. I'm also going to, I'm going to wait a second here. But unfortunately, right now, it doesn't look like my closed captioning thing is working, and so I apologize for that. I'll hopefully be able to get that going. Um, but this is the cool hangout zone here where we just go, hey, Aristofan's here, hi, Aristofan. We're just wait for a few folks to join us. We hang out a little bit, and then we'll get started with the build properly. I'm going to refresh the page, so hopefully we can get those closed captions going. And if not, I'm sorry, and I don't know why it's not working. But it does not appear to be showing up, which is annoying. Lastbrook, thank you so much. I got an emote because you just renewed your subscription with Prime. Don't have a funny message, too hungry. Well, I'm going to hit the old applause, and thank you so much. That's 34 months on a 34-month streak. I am sorry that you are hungry. I hope that you get some foodstuffs soon. Also, yes, there are some emotes that you can unlock by gifting subs or renewing your subscription. You can unlock some emotes, and that's fun. You get more emotes in your pool that you suddenly have access to. But I thank you very much, Lastbrook, for renewing your subscription. As always, that means a lot when folks decide to do that. Lastbrook's working on getting some food. Well, good. So what are we doing tonight? Well, first, we're waiting for a few more folks to join us. We're going to hope they do. If they don't, if this is a chill, stream, that's okay. It happens. But I'm hoping a few more folks decide to pop in and watch what we're up to. Thursday night's usually pretty good for us, so I'm hoping a few more folks decide to come by. Anyway, what do we got here? Well, we are working on the Arc, the Impulse Gundam Arc. Now, we've already built in the past the Impulse Gundam Lancer. So this is the Lancer right here. And you may notice these look very similar. And in fact, they are very similar. Their weapons and shields are a little different, but they are of a similar build. And we will be mixing and matching them because you can mix and match. You can also take some parts of this and combine them. So we're going to do all that. We're going to finish working on it because we've done the top and we've done a little bit. We did the feet, so we got a little bit of it done. When that's done, if there's time left in the stream, because I think there will be, we will be starting a Lego set. That's right. We are doing the race car 3-in-1. You can see it right here. Got a race car. It's a 3-in-1. It's a 134-piece kit. Which is going to be most of those pieces will be the car. Then we'll disassemble the car, and we'll build the plane, the disassembled plane. And then I'm calling this a roadster, and I don't know if that's the right term for what this is. If there's a better term for it, you let me know. I think it's a roadster. We're going to go with roadster because hot rod doesn't seem right. But so it's a 3-in-1, and we're going to assemble all three, which is very nice. Both these kits were bought off my Amazon wish list, which is neat. Thank you to folks who do that. I got a couple things to chat about tonight. Nothing major, nothing huge. I want to thank everybody who decided to tune in and join me. I hope a few more folks decide to join you in here in this stream. And if not, that's okay. It happens. If this is a chill, quiet stream, it's a chill, quiet stream. I do like these colors. We got these, different shades of blue here. I think they're pretty complimentary. One's almost a purple. In fact, it is a light purple. It's not almost a purple. It is a purple. We got a purple and blue. And I think that my biggest complaint with this kit, as always, is that this center piece is not a piece of see-through green, that it is a sticker. And I don't like that. It's fine that it matches the other green, but I wish that it was instead a piece of plastic. But that's what you get with high grades. Even modern, newish high grades, like this one, which is, I believe this is 2018. Still very good, very high quality kits. Hello, Mr. Bob. Welcome. We're going to go to the overhead in just a minute and start building. I did want to say, if my voice gives out tonight, I apologize. I did definitely push my vocals singing last night on Twitch Sings. One thing about that, which was interesting, my stream is muted I ended up deleting the VOD. Now, the YouTube video is up, so you can watch it on YouTube if you missed it. But the VOD I took down because the entire VOD got muted. Twitch Sings, a thing that Twitch makes or produces. There's at least a song in there that Twitch's own music filters mute in VODs. That's not good and makes me nervous about using Twitch Sings because I do not want anything to happen to this channel at all, but particularly while I'm doing something live. And that is weird. It is weird that Twitch Sings, a thing they make for Twitch, yeah, I mean, who knows what it was, because it just mutes the whole thing. It doesn't partially mute, it muted the whole thing. So I don't know what song tripped it. And that's weird, and I don't like that, and I would prefer it didn't do that. So I did kind of blow out my voice a little bit because I haven't sang in quite some time. But hopefully we'll be fine tonight and get through this with no problem. I'm going to go put out my tweet that we're starting, time to build, and we'll go to the other end and build. And as I said, if this is a chill stream, that's okay. If this is a lightly attended party, that's fine. We'll get into the arc here and start to build. So we're working on one of the legs here. As you can see, we've got the upper part of the kit built. We've got put a leg, the feet aside here, and we will start assembling here. Yeah, we got some good progress done on Monday. As Mr. Bob says, not a good sign for the service. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a bad, like, it makes me not want to stream it, which then it just becomes a karaoke app for me if I get the itch to sing along with some songs, and that's not quite what I'm looking for at all. It's definitely not what I'm looking for. So, yeah, it does make me not want to stream it, which is bad because that's one of the things about it that it exists for, is to get people to use it. So I don't know. But yeah, a little worried. Was a little surprised by that. You know. There was one stream we did here one time where I just started playing some anime themes that we've been talking about, and that one got muted, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm playing copyrighted music on a stream, should be. And one of my wrestling things, the comedy of wrestling stream got that took a while to get on. That was weird. That one got muted because copyright stuff, because there was some music in one of the videos that we showed that they didn't own the rights to either. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. All right, so we need A and B here, working on our leg. We'll get the A pieces we need first. Hello and welcome to everybody that's coming out and hanging out. I hope you hang out and enjoy yourself. As always, you are under no obligation to chat. If you feel like coming into the chat, you're more than welcome. I do read every message and respond to almost all of them. Occasionally someone says something that I have nothing to say to, because it is a statement that I have no response to. But for the most part, I do respond to things, and always excited to have people in the chat. But, you know, you can just lurk. You can be a lurker if that's your style, if you're your steez. Feel free to do that. I think that's okay. Let's see. What's going on with me? What else? What's going on? We are very short into the stream. As always, not having things to do in my life means I don't have a lot to talk about. I do try to, you know, think of things to chat about here as we build. I do have one thing. I did a little cooking. You may have seen the photo on my Twitter. You know, occasionally jump in, dip my toes into some of that stuff there. So the dish in question was a lasagna. But was it lasagna noodles layered with ricotta and sauce layered up with mozzarella on top, and maybe you layer mozzarella somewhere else in there, and just layers and layers? It was not that. Instead, it was ravioli, big, large ravioli that were layered, covered in sauce and layered, and then covered in cheese. And it it meant for like when you cut into it, you could really like separate the that, but all the ricotta was inside the the ravioli shells. Ricotta. I'm probably saying that wrong, and that's not okay, but it is what it is. Um, uh, and it turned out real good. So I like lasagna, but I'm not a huge ricotta fan. But I think the thing I'm actually not a fan of is biting into lasagna and getting all of that. You know, whereas this, because of the size of them and the way they were arranged, um, it was a lot easier to just enjoy it, uh, and kind of portion control. It was really tasty. Turned out good. There's a photo on my Twitter if you want to go investigate for your own self. Turned out real good. Um, but yeah, just trying to break up the monotony. Now, obviously, streaming huge for breaking up the monotony of some of the day to day that I find myself in, which is just watching YouTube videos and attempting to get people to uh, reply to my job applications, either with interviews or with a job offer. I'm doing a lot of that these days, and so when I can break up that monotony with something else, feels pretty good. Um, I've been biking a lot, trying to do that. I wish that I had access to some weights. I wouldn't mind doing a little weightlifting too. I mean, I'm doing push-ups again. That's been fun. Uh, trying to stay a little active because I don't walk to places anymore, uh, and I'm feeling very stiff, like everywhere. I mean, I got my butt pad, and I love my butt pad. Don't get me wrong; it's been very helpful for sitting in this wooden chair for hours at a time. But I'm still sitting a lot, even if it is more comfortable than it was previously. It's still sitting, so I'm trying to like break that up with some exercise, or like, hey, we need you to rake because you mulched the lawn, but part of the lawn was really high. The grass was really high, so we gotta go back and rake that up. Like, sure, I'll go out and do that. I got no problems doing that. Let me get out of this house for just a moment and do some physical activity. Sure. Um, Also, hey, let me know in the chat if you found this. Uh, I don't have, I don't listen for the podcasts as much as I used to. Uh, Instead, I watch podcasts be recorded because I have time in front of the computer, but I don't have time like on the subway or walking for 40 minutes to a thing or a round trip, or like occasionally if I'm like going to the kitchen to get something, I find myself putting my headphones in so I can listen to like a couple minutes of a podcast. And so mostly it's when I'm on the bike or when I'm going for a walk. That's when I'm listening to podcasts. So I ended up dropping a few that I'm just like I have a backlog of them, and I know I'm not going to listen to them anymore. So it's just like it's kind of a bummer. Uh, but a few podcasts I listened to did stop doing episodes, or they do less episodes these days, and where normally I would be bummed about that, right now I am somewhat relieved. Hey, what's up, A&G? We're working on the our kit that Lashbrook got for us here, the Ark, and of course on deck is your Lego set. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here on the stream. Um, but yeah, I don't have a commute, so I don't have podcasts. And then also, podcasts are more walking times these days. As a wrist fan, yeah, totally. Also, a thing that I did a lot of podcasting in was food prep, and because when you live alone, you are making all your meals, and especially if you're planning them out and preparing stuff. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Pardon me. Sorry. If you're doing meal prep, uh, preparing stuff, I don't. You miss podcasts, says Mr. Bob. Yeah. So I still make lunch every day, but I'm also making lunch. My folks and I have lunch together, which is, I'm not complaining about. That's lovely. I love that. But I'm not listening to a podcast while I make that. Uh, and I'm not making dinner occasionally I'm doing stuff in the kitchen, as I said, but I'm not like doing that every day. And that actually turned out to be, or like when I listened to a lot of podcasts was while I was doing meal prep for myself. Uh, so it is weird. I used to do those weird holiday podcasts, like where they were stealing the New Year's Eve ball. Oh yeah. um, yeah, I mean, like it's weird. It's just an odd thing that my life is, like now I'm watching more YouTube than I ever did before. I have it on the background. I have Twitch on during the day. I used to never watch Twitch during the day. Twitch was always like maybe I would watch stuff when I got home from work late at night. I would either watch some live or I'd watch some VODs. But now it's like, well, what Hearthstone streamer that I like is streaming right now, or who else is doing this, or oh, I guess I'll watch some Fall Guy streams. Like, I almost never look in tags for like someone to go check out, but lately I've been doing it because I just have a lot of hours. I got hooked on Linus Tech Tips, and I wanted to be a Canadian. I mean, there are a lot of good Canadians. Linus is someone that I kind of bounced off of. I still watch Bitwit and Paul's Hardware. Don't we all right now, says Lashbrook. Yeah. So the two that I like that are in that circle are Bitwit. Um, Caveat. Kyle does an impression that is, this is a weird thing to say. He does an impression of people in his family that if someone who was not his racial makeup did, it would definitely be considered racist. But he's doing it so it's not racist, but it is racial in a way that bums me out. But he doesn't do it that often. He basically does he has a character that's his brother that is weird. I think I bounced off him. I'm back on his channel hard. Yeah. Paul's Hardware is the one I like a lot. I think Paul is just a great dude. Like, he seems like just like a genuinely good guy. And I like his builds, and he did a lot of renovation series. He had a series about having people install solar in his house, and went through that process, and I thought that was really interesting. It's not something that I'm ever going to do, but I thought it was good. So Paul is probably my favorite of the hardware guys. Tektronic isn't bad. That's the guy that does a lot of repairs of like game systems and stuff. He seems all right. It's fun to be like, I bought this thing on eBay. Can I fix it? And he's just like, nope. Oh no. Uh, he did a PC build with a contest winner, and I hope she starts doing videos herself. Oh yeah, I mean yeah. Those are always nice when you see somebody like doing something like that, and you're like, oh, you seem genuinely cool. Um, yeah, I try to. I mean, I just. Here's the other thing I've been trying to do. I would try to find a replacement for Bon Appetit, and that's a specific thing, right? Because while Bon Appetit is clearly um, personality based, it also is part of a large media corporation. Hey, Jam, welcome. Happy to have you here. It's part of a large media empire, so it has a lot of backing, but it also has like a style to it, right? So like, well, I got to find this like proper style to kind of emulate here, because the thing I found out is, so far I've only found one YouTube foodie person. Time for Defector to start a food division. Yeah. So there's one food person out there. Bob Babish is the only person who is doing food on YouTube, as far as I can tell, that is not either a loud, obnoxious person or playing a loud, obnoxious person. Because, like, holy shit. I've been a bit reluctant to try new YouTube videos in case the algorithm serves me up a Nazi. Wristfan, that's totally a valid thing. There was some glitch in the Matrix now where, yes. So OG Felix, Felix, yes. Hello. Welcome. Hi to you. Happy to have you here. Yeah, Maddie Matheson. I don't think that Maddie is a bad person, but I don't like him as a YouTube person. You know what I mean? Like his YouTube persona makes me angry and want to not watch him. Uh, yeah, dude is loud. Yeah, he's just like, and maybe he's not that. Maybe when you hang out with him and you're just like shooting the breeze, he's just like actually pretty chill and like fun to be around. But his YouTube thing is just like, what's up? It's time to go 0 to 100. Um, and then also like I started trying to watch Mythical Kitchen because uh, they just kept get stuff getting served to me via the algorithm because I would watch like some things and they'd be like, "Oh, do you want to watch Mythical Kitchen?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I know Mythical Mornings. Oh, this is the food thing about Mythical Mornings. Okay." Are all the kitchen YouTubers copying each other? Like people are doing the YouTube voice a few years back. So I think that is it, Mr. Bob. So some people like because the overhead don't see my face, just see what I'm doing thing is very tasty. That's very like Facebook. So that's what Babish does, which is voiceover and kind of just showing his hands doing the thing, right? He has a couple series where you see his face, but traditionally he's doing that. Um, and the other YouTubers, I think, are all just going for things. So, trying to watch Mythical Kitchen, they do some interesting things, but like the main dude, I just don't want to watch him do it. And that's I don't need you to be like incredible. I don't even need you to make food that I'm like, oh, I gotta get this. I do want to like you. Like that's the thing about almost all of my YouTube stuff. I would say is like occasionally there's some stuff that I'm like, well, whatever, but this is really informative, so that's fine. But for most part, it's like, I'll plug my Pat Bear's Anime Club later. I talk about anime commentary channels that I like. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. I would not watch a video almost every day from Grand Line Review if I didn't think the person who made it was someone that I wanted to like listen to as they talked about stuff. Like at a certain point, you gotta kind of like what's going on there. One of the I follow or I watch videos of a goofy guy that does like checks out a lot of mods in some games, but he's just like a hoot, and I like him. I like his personality. I like how he plays. So that like brings me back to it. Um, I wish the algorithm liked people that are starting out or experimenting. Mr. Bob, 100%. Most of the time, if you end up stumbling on something, right? It just wants to serve you the things that it thinks you'll watch the most of, which is things that other people have watched, right? So that's the algorithm. The algorithm isn't, well, you like this, so here's more of this thing that you claim to like. The algorithm is, well, you want to watch this thing. You watch this thing, so here's the most popular of this. Uh, well, if you like the Try Guys, well, here are the videos they made for BuzzFeed 5 years ago before they became the Try Guys when they were just worked for BuzzFeed. And it's like, I get that. But instead of showing me old videos that they don't, that they have nothing to do with anymore, why don't you show me other collections of guys that are trying stuff and doing things and are like nice and fun. All my YouTube suggestions are Linus now. Yes, because you watched a couple videos, so now there's going to be here's all these tech tip things, right? And they'll give you other tech people that are even more popular than he is because they're like, I don't know, do you like this? Do you want to have this guy that reviews phones? How about that? Here's a guy that reviews phones and is super popular for no apparent reason. I watch anything potentially sketchy or likewise on incognito. Yeah, Lord Crashington, that is a good way to do it. I come to often watch stuff in Firefox because my Chrome is my preferred. So I often will experiment with stuff in Firefox, not signed in to YouTube, just to be like, whatever. Unless it's something recommended to me. If somebody recommends me a channel, then I'll definitely check that out because I do listen to friends. my Pet Bear's Anime Club, which is about some of the YouTube stuff. Somebody mentioned a channel, and I've been checking that out. No, I like it. It's not bad. Uh, I got one because the good stuff is sold out. Uh, I don't know what that means, Mr. Bob. Feel free to clarify that. Do not know what you mean by that. By that message. Okay, so we need B1. Yeah. I fell asleep with YouTube on my phone once, and now it keeps recommending videos from the Game Sack since I watched one of their videos, and it's just a terrible channel name. Yeah, I mean, so if you go into your history, you can delete that video from your watched history list, which helps some. You can also click on that thing and say, don't recommend this channel to me. All-in-one water coolers. I botched a... Oh, okay. All-in-one water coolers. I watched a bunch of Linus reviews. All right. That makes sense. Okay. I get that now, what you were saying. Yeah, I'm never going to water cool. This computer isn't high-end enough to warrant it, and I'm not high-end enough to deal with it. The autoplay is the worst part of logged out YouTube. Yes, Lord Crashington, totally. Yeah, I just like, also, it's better now because I do use YouTube enough that I don't have to see it that much. But like when I would have to look up music for people or links to things for people for work, I would be logged in because that way I didn't see ads. But then like it would mess with stuff, and suddenly I would be getting, recommended videos that has nothing to do with what I want to watch in my regular life because it was work related. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that these days. But it is like a thing where I'm like, okay, all right. What do you need? Sure. Okay, all right. What is this? No, get out of here. Also, like, I watch a lot of clips of anime. Sometimes stuff that I am interested in watching in the future, and I want to learn a little bit of it. Oftentimes, I'm also watching clips of shows that I'll never watch because I'm just going to watch the clip. Because I'm like, I don't care about the third season of my romantic comedy Snafu. I just don't care about that show. I watched some of the first season a long time ago. I'm not interested in watching it. Didn't watch the second season. Not going to watch the third season of it. I watch a clip of it. I'm like, no thanks. And then it's like, okay. And I can understand even if they recommend me that, but they're just going to recommend me other videos from that YouTube channel. And I'm like, I mean, okay. Then every once in a while, YouTube thinks that maybe I want to watch like carnage counts or death, kill counts or death counts. Those compilations that are just like going through all the deaths of a show. And I'm like, YouTube, I never want to watch those. I never want to watch those. Why do you think I want to watch those? I've never watched one of those. Come on, YouTube. I don't want that. It's just very strange. How sometimes it's just like, yeah, they get in your head. And then once in a while you find one of my favorite things right now is finding channels that haven't had a new video in like 3 years, but have a video I might be interested in. So they're just like, how about this channel? And I'm like, this is not an active channel. I've talked about this on Twitter, the phenomenon of people who pivot to anime. Have you seen any of the pictures of this WWE Thunderdome business? I love they don't get enough virtual audience members and had to repeat some. Well, I'll clarify that in a second. One thing I did want to say. It is very odd to me that people are like, this is a bird watching channel. And now it is not a bird watching channel anymore. It is a channel dedicated to clips from Bleach. And you're like, what? What's happening? And like, someone pointed out, and it was a thing that I should have thought about, but I didn't, that most likely that channel got taken over. Uh, uh, that someone either sold the channel or someone stole the channel from somebody. Um, and that's why it suddenly pivoted. But I do think that sometimes people do this thing where they'll like have like clips to try to get subscribers from something, and then they'll suddenly pivot to something else because then like the algorithm will recommend that channel, and it's an odd thing, but it's weird. So the Thunderdome, I like the look of it. Now, to be fair, Lashbrook, to the fact that they didn't have enough audience members, it's not live. That was the test. They on purpose didn't fill it with people, so it got repeated because they're only testing it to a bunch of people that said, "Yes, I will agree to this test." They got to watch a wrestling match that was just for them. Um, and then, of course, one of those people that signed up, or multiple people that signed up, happened to be people that report on YouTube and broke their whatever agreement they signed and just posted photos. Because they cover stuff on Twitter and YouTube about wrestling. So, to be fair to WWE, in this one instance, and probably never again, um, they, they just, uh, they weren't trying to. It wasn't like it was the first night of this new system. It literally was just them testing it with an audience. Um, I like the idea of it. I think that the wall is bad. I think that if it was layered, that would be better. Um, and also, I think it's way too close to the action because it looks like they're performing in the Matrix, like in the White Room, and they just like brought in a bunch of photos. It doesn't. I don't think it looks great. Um, Hopefully, it'll look. Here's the thing. Honestly, as long as it's not live fans in attendance, do whatever you want. Don't, like, as long as they're not jumping that gun, which obviously they will as soon as they feel like they can, and that's part of the reason they're in this new location, is so that they can open it up to limited audience when as soon as they can. But I don't want them to have an audience because it's just so dangerous. Uh, but we'll see. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Uh, and then I'm sure a lot of people will be like, why isn't NXT in there? Because they're not. They're not going. It's just going to be Raw and SmackDown. And I actually think that's better. Let the performance center people have the performance center. Also, probably they don't have. They probably need to keep doing things out of Full Sail and can't not do it contractually. I assume they contractually have to be continuing to do work at Full Sail University. I assume that that's part of their deal. So they just didn't move those good people. Speaking of live fans, hey W, why do you got to keep disappointing me? Yeah, Lashbrook. Here's the thing. AEW is a wrestling company, and we were fools. It is literally on us to expect anything from a wrestling company, because even if it's a guy who never ran a wrestling company before, he's still hiring wrestlers to be the people in charge of it, and wrestlers are still going to be wrestlers even if they come out of the indie scene, even more so than the indie scene. Wrestlers are still carny folk. It's all carny folk. Expecting more from them is just going to lead to more and more disappointment, and we keep doing it, and I keep doing it myself, beyond the royal we, the specific me. I keep doing it where I expect them to, like, well, this company, like, it's like, well, Cody's saying the right things, and Kenny's going to be in charge of the women's division, and like, it's going to be different. They're going to go after different things and have different priorities. But the fact of the matter is, AEW just wants to be WCW in the mid to late '90s. That's the company they want to be. They don't want to be the future of wrestling, the progressive, independent future wrestling. Now, yeah, having Aubrey as the referee, there are things that are cool in that company. Um, there are performers in that company that are outspokenly awesome and fantastic. Uh, but like it's just another wrestling company. Uh, they're like, oh well, we have this women's tournament. We don't have enough stars for that, so we have to bring in some people, and we're not even going to. You can make the argument, oh, we're going to have our separate, video series for it. It won't take over Dynamite. We'll just our Dark, Dark. But to not even do like recaps on Dynamite is just like, well, we can guess how you actually feel about this, what you actually think about this division. It's just a big old bummer. It's a lot of lip service. Uh, but every wrestling company is a disappointment. But at the end of the day, that's the reality of it because it's still just a wrestling company. So yeah, they're going to get fans in as soon as they possibly can. And they're going to say they're doing their best and everything's going to go in there. But they still want fans. Every wrestling company wants fans. They want fans. They're going to want to tour as soon as they can. WWE will be the first touring sports entertainment product. Wrestling, like whatever. UFC will be the first one. WWE the second because UFC will start appearing in various parts of the country because of they're smaller. It's a smaller operation, not smaller money or whatever. It's just a smaller amount of bodies that need to go places. So that'll probably actually happen first. But if you're talking about like big venues and like who's going to be the first one in there, it'll be the WWE. They'll break attendance policies. They'll bend things. They'll apologize. They'll pay fines. They'll do whatever they can. But they're going to want butts and seats because money. Just because money. They're going to have a lot of people get real fucked up and real messed up so they can make more money. And it sucks. When Ring of Honor is taking care of their performers better than you are doing a bad job. That's all I'll say about that. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Just mostly a disappointment because I had high hopes for AEW and they have kind of done nothing but that is traditionally where the butts go. Yeah, Lord Cratchington, you do want butts and seats, but you'd hope that in this particular case you would have butts and seats at home for a lot longer. Just the fact that there's that New Japan has audiences must drive Vince McMahon just seething. It must make him so unhappy that there's a wrestling company in the world, a big wrestling company in the world that has audiences, that gets big audiences. Because Japan handled things differently, obviously. But yeah, it must just make him so unhappy that there's a company that's having like audiences for wrestling outside of like rinky-dink indie shows that are doing like outdoor shows with like limited seating. Which, as much as I'm happy, a friend of mine got married at a wrestling show, and so recently, because they're both of the world of wrestling, and I'm very happy for him, and the photos looked lovely, but I was also like, fucking yikes. Okay. I mean, live your life, live your dreams, have fun, but happy for the loving couple, but like I don't know. Uh, all right. So yeah, we're getting some work done here on this kit. So one of the things about this kit is that, as I said, I'll be able to mix and match parts with the arc. Hello, Dirty. Welcome, welcome. Or sorry, this is the arc with the Lancer, which we built previously. But also a thing this kit does is we can also take parts of the Lancer and combine it with this. I think I'm just going to do the mix and match because I think that's fun. But it does also combine. You can take like components and swap them out to like make a beefed up arc, which is kind of neat. But we'll just mix and match that because I've been talking about it, so I want to do it. Um, but yeah. So in the second hour, which will come, about 15 minutes from now, we'll get to that. I talk about anime stuff. I did want to say, just as a brief aside, I'm only going to talk about 3 shows because I am officially dropping an anime. Now, is there a lot out there this season? No. Do I normally drop stuff 6 episodes in, 5 episodes in? Not always. Usually before that I do. But I've been kind of waiting on this one. And so this is a topic for me about things. And, you don't have to watch things. If you don't want to watch them, you don't have to engage with things. You don't have to. As much as I like having content for y'all and to chat about and having things to talk about, I don't. There's sometimes I'm just like, well, I'm not hate watching this. Like, Infinite Dendogram, I started to really dislike, but I decided I was going to finish it because I wanted to see, like, it kept surprising me in disappointing me. So I was like, I'm going to keep watching this even after I realized it was 13 episodes, and they took a week off after between episode 11 and 12. They like took a week, and so it extended it, and I was like, well, now I'm definitely going to finish this nightmare of a program because it keeps taunting me. Um, the show was Gibate. Gibate? I never knew how to say it. I think it was Gibate. Um, it's the show about the samurai and the ninja that come forward in time and are humanity's last hope against um, the virus that turns humans into monsters. And the monsters are all terrible CG and look very bad. This episode, I started watching today's episode, or yesterday's episode, I should say, and it started with the the Yaku, the Yakuza guy from the last episode that got handily defeated, and I was like, wait, is that character going to be important? You know what? I actually don't want to watch this show. They had been tempting me with showing me some kind of cool fighting lady, and I think she shows up in this episode. I might watch it when the season's over, but I'm done now. Sometimes what I'll do is when the in between season stuff, because basically some shows end and there's only like a couple, and then there's new shows start. There's always that little gap between seasons. That's when I often go back and watch something that I missed or was just not as interested in. I'll do that then. So that might be, I might go back to it then. But as of right now, I had no desire to watch it yesterday. I had no desire to watch it today. So I'm not going to watch it. At least I still had 3 shows to talk about that I'll talk about in the second hour. And those are all shows that I generally am interested in watching. And I'm excited to see what happens next. And I watch them as soon as I can the day they come out. So even if, I'll get to it in Black Clover. But it looks like Black Clover, looks like this filler arc is coming to an end. Because the filler arc, I thought, started off really strong. But these last 2 have been not great and very very actually filler. They felt like filler, whereas previously Black Clover's filler episodes have felt like they belonged in the show and felt like pretty solid. And there have been other fillers. This is the first filler arc. There have been like, there were a couple recapped episodes here and there, and those always feel kind of bad, but this show hasn't felt too bad in this arc, which is its first major filler arc. Like, it hasn't felt like poor quality, but these last 2 were a little rough. It doesn't help it that last week's episode of Black Clover was about my second least favorite character in the Black Bulls. So I was like, well, I don't, I don't love this because I don't love this dude. Because I think that that character sucks. But anyway, yeah, I usually I'll give shows 2 to 3 episodes. Sometimes I bounce immediately. Um, uh, like I, in some shows I don't even give any time to, right? Like I don't care. Like if you like the Monster Girl show, if that's your thing, if you're like, nope, I am here to watch the anime about monster girls, like that is a thing that I'm here to do and enjoy. Like sure, watch that Monster Girl Doctor. Watch that anime. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I know that I have no interest right now in that anime. I just know that I am not interested in the monsters horny for the nice human doctor anime. Like I just know that's not my jam. Uh, so I don't watch it. And sometimes there's a show that I'm like, this doesn't seem like it'll be good. And then people are like, hey, are you watching this? This show is great. Uh, um, uh, what was it? What was it the last season? I forget what it's called. Um, but there was a show last season that I didn't watch the first episode of, and then people were like, "Hey, actually, this show is really, really good." And I was like, "Oh, it is? Okay." And then I really, really liked it. So like that happens. But uh, Kakushigato, Kakushigato, uh, was the show that the premise was sold poorly, but it was just like a dad who's embarrassed about that he draws dirty joke manga. Uh, the thing is, it was pitched as dad is embarrassed that he does dirty manga. And I was like, oh, I don't need to watch that. But then they're like, no, it's dirty joke manga. It's like fart jokes. He's just embarrassed he draws a fart joke thing and doesn't want his daughter to know that's what he does for a living. And I was like, oh, that's a fun idea. And it turns out to be a heartwarming and sometimes heartbreaking show and one of the best of last season. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Well, I'm glad I watched that. So I've been wrong before. I've written off stuff and turned out it's good. And I've also watched stuff and been like, this could be good. And then I'm like, it's not. It's not. Like, a Pararanma. Nah. I just like, don't like that show. I know some people are really into it, and I'm glad they like it, but that has not been my take on it. I was just like, this just feels. I mean, like the pacing of it, I kind of like the art, but a lot of the characters feel really like just stereotypical and kind of, yeah, it's just kind of a trash show, but not good trash. It's just, it's not for me. But if that's a show you like, watch it and enjoy it. That has kind of been my philosophy. There are a few things out there that I think like, maybe you could do better. Like I've definitely felt that about a few shows that I think like whatever. Like I don't enjoy ReZero, but I have no problem if that's on your watch list this season. If you're watching ReZero, I hope you're having a great time with it. Uh, I didn't really like. I kind of stopped about halfway through the first season. I haven't watched the director's cut of the first season. I haven't watched the OVA. I haven't watched the second season. Uh, uh, I think that while I do like the idea that I guess he does have some powers now. I've heard, but Subaru being like a guy going to a different world. It's an isekai, but he doesn't have his special power uh, is a curse. It's kind of an interesting idea. I just don't really enjoy the show, so I don't partake in it. But if that's your jam, that's your jam, and enjoy your jam. Uh, I hear that Alicization is heating up for Sword Art Online. I have not watched any of that, and I'll say this: I have watched a lot of Sword Art Online. I watched a movie of Sword Art Online. I watched several seasons. I watched a spin-off series of Sword Art Online. I have watched a lot of Sword Art Online. But I got to Alicization and I was like, I'm good. I think we're okay here. I don't really need to wait around for Alice to fall in love with Kitaro, because it's gonna happen. Because if you're a lady in that series, you're gonna fall in love with him. Even if, and especially if, you are distantly related to him. You are indeed gonna fall in love with him. Because that's how the show works. But, I hear it's heating up, so. Spoiler alert, Kitaro woke up. So, hell yeah. It's good. You knew it was gonna happen because they weren't gonna end the show without him waking up. I felt like probably wasn't gonna. There's like, and Asuna saved the day, and everything is done. Hooray! Thanks, Asuna. Like, nah, probably not. Okay. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, and we'll talk about ways you can support the channel if that's your intention or your interest. We got to do a backpack and a weapon here, but we're going to get body complete with this kit, which is good. And then we'll start working on, we'll show off the mix and match portion. But let's get this together, and then we'll start getting we'll get the backpack done and the weapons. I like these things because they're like, are these weapons? Are these jets? I kind of like that stylistically as part of the skirt, is like these like weird jet thingies. I'm like, are they boosters? What's going on with these things? Can appreciate that. And then put this on here. All right, we're body complete now. Let's build a backpack for it. But you can see, you know, it's got some differences with that. But we're gonna get a bunch of photos in. It's gonna be a regular old photo shoot tonight. But let's get its backpack together. This J. J2's done. There's J. Together there. But yeah, we will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel if that's your interest. Obviously, never in any obligation to do that, but for folks that want to, it is often, it's always appreciated. Not often, it's always appreciated. But mostly, just thanks for being here, as always. Just thanks for hanging out, deciding you're going to spend some time on the stream. Give me a little of your precious attention. I do appreciate it. That's not supposed to be condescending, even if it came out that way. But, yeah. And, yeah, and of course, we're going to, second hour, we will continue to put this together. We'll do some mix and matching. We'll probably start our Lego set. And then we will, of course, in the second hour, we got to talk about some anime since Monday's stream. Because that is what we do around here, is I talk about anime that came out since the previous stream. And of course, there are parts here to make this more like the original Impulse. If that is your jam, if you want to make this look a little more like a traditional Impulse. It's not one-to-one, but you can make it look more like that. I do appreciate when they include those pieces, because this is based on the Impulse Gundam. Then just gonna pop this one in here. Great. And now we have a backpack. Got a backpack and a butt pack. That's how these kits do. Again, just like the Lancer, I don't like how this is connected. I think it falls off way too easily, and I don't appreciate it. That's okay. Uh, you have a Zaku you need to build? Hell yeah. I said this about the online Gundam or the Bandai thing. Uh, I don't have the funds right now to buy a bunch of kits, but that clear Zaku is really appealing. I built a lot of Zaku's, a lot of Zaku variants, like the FZ and the Zaku Warrior. Built a lot of Zaku's in my day and a lot of Zaku 2s, but Char's Zaku 2 like clear or Zaku clear. I'm like, that does call out to me as like, hey, what if you built me? What if you bought me and built me? Uh, but yeah, right now my backlog is I got another kit to build after this, and not we got a Lego set we're building next. But after that, I've got another high grade that looks pretty neat. That's another build. I believe it's a build divers kit, and then I also have in my backlog um, the Deep Space Nine Defiant, which is a pretty small kit that has a lot of water transfer decals and stickers. So I am going to probably at least use some of those because it's not going to look that great without them. I think that with regular stickers, even without regular stickers, even if I wasn't putting regular stickers on this kit, I think this kit would still look pretty damn sharp with all the plastics. But that kit that I'm looking at the Defiant, I was like, oh, this really, really, really needs me to put a lot of decals on this. So we'll at least do some of those water transfers. I haven't done one of them in a while, so we'll definitely do that when that comes up in the future. But we've got stuff to build besides that, so that'll have to wait. There. But yeah, I've got a paycheck coming in pretty soon for some freelance stuff that I've done recently, and when I get that all in, the main goal of that is pay a bill. Got to pay a big bill, and then when that bill is paid, then the other thing is buy some kits. And then what I'm going to try to do is buy a few kits at once, so that they have to go into a box from Amazon, because buying kits one at a time, even if that's how things work out, means that they just put that box in a bag, in a manila envelope, and send it that way, which is not as good. Just not packed. I'd rather have an Amazon box packed with a bunch of stuff, like the old days. Nothing's been broken, but a lot of boxes have been beat up. Like even like I opened this, so don't say that, but so don't include that, but this box has been damaged. You can maybe see it there. Like this box got beat up in its flight to me. Oh yeah, and here it's kind of just banged up. It's kind of hard to see. You can definitely see some marks that are not meant to be in there. But that got banged up a bunch because it wasn't in a box with a lot of padding. It was just in a manila envelope that says Amazon on it, or a white envelope that says Amazon on it, and just stuffed in the mail. It's Lego, so everything's going to be okay, but it's still sometimes a little nerve-wracking. You want everything to show up in one piece. All right, last sticker for this kit, which is that there, so we'll just put that down. Cool. There. Ooh, I'm going to take out this because I'm going to want this for the Legos build after this. Great. Put that there. All right. That is... Okay, we got one more piece here. I just want to finish up the build portion, which literally is one more piece. And then we will... then I'll show you all the mix and matches. We'll take some photos after the break, and then we'll get into building our Lego set. I got one more piece to put on here, which is the rest of our big old rifle. The only weapon this kit comes with. This kit does not have a shield. That shield is part of the other. It's twin, but this has this. All right. Then this pops down. There we go. And then that can go in. Look at that. And that's our kit. That is the Gundam Impulse Gundam Arc. Oops. Which does pop apart because it does do the 2 sections if that's what you want to do. It's got a big old weapon, which is fun. And that's that kit. I remember getting an amiibo back in the day, and the warehouse person just rolled up the package into a bubble mailer, which was kind of amazing that anybody would do that. Luckily, I was going to open it, so it didn't matter anyway. Yeah. So sometimes, if you, depending on the company, there are Japanese companies that will mail you kits that you can buy on Amazon, and they will just take the box that you're going to get, your high grade or your master grade, and wrap it in bubble wrap or a bubble sleeve, and then mail it that way. And it actually turns out not terrible, but I always prefer for it to be in a box. Don't just ship the box. But I've gotten that before. So, that is not a unique thing, unfortunately. All right, so we'll get some photos into this in just a second here. Hey, let's take a pause for the cause, folks. It's after 10. Let's take a brief moment to say hi. This is the Build with Baer Workshop. Thank you very much for watching. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the leg of the site emote in the chat. Let the people know. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. If you're new here to the stream, this is ways you can support the channel. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you can, that would be great. This was Best Buy, so they sent me a gift card to make up for it when I contacted. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad they did. But thank you very much for being a subscriber. If you're not currently a subscriber, you could become one. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get Prime Gaming by linking your Amazon account with your Twitch account. That opens up games you can get. You can just get games. You know, you could get Treachery in Beatdown City, which is a fantastic brawler with a message made by my friend Sean. That is free for Twitch Prime, for Prime Gaming users. So you just get that. But then also you get this token you can use. Because some people here are, like Lashbrook uses his Twitch Prime in order to support me. So you could do that. You could also use Cash Money if that's something you want to do. You're under no obligation to do so. Bits and coins always appreciated. Also appreciated gifting subs. ANG, Adjective Noun Gaming, gifted a sub this month. Jump to the leaderboard. Bits and coins are always appreciated. But yeah, if you want to gift a sub, you could do that. That is a way to support the channel and what I do here. Again, you're under no obligation to do any of these things that I'm about to tell you. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, hi YouTube, thanks for watching. Every link that I'm about to share with you is in the show description of this video, so you can go check out all the links. So I mentioned I have I mentioned I have Twitter. I also have a Patreon. I didn't mention I have Twitter. I mentioned that I have a Twitch. You know, I'm a Twitch affiliate. I also have a Patreon. You can join my Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBear. There's $1 tier, $3 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier. All those tiers. Maybe you want to, $5 a month for Twitch. That's not working out for you. You want to do $1 or $3. That's a better price. That would be great. Also, you just donate some cash that goes directly into a fund where I buy model kits. I shouldn't say donate like that. You could give me some monies. But yeah, because everything I make through Patreon, through Twitch, through direct donations, goes to me buying kits and equipment. We're going to get back to building real soon, so I apologize for taking this break, but I'd like to do it just in one big chunk in the middle of the stream and not constantly. So that's a way to support the channel, is through that. This kit was bought off my Amazon wish list. This kit right here that I'm talking to, that we built tonight, we finished building tonight, was bought off my Amazon wish list. You could buy something off my wish list and I'll build it on the stream. The Lego set I'm about to build next was also for my Amazon wish list, which is a inexpensive little 3-in-1 kit. I have 2 other inexpensive 3-in-1 kits Sorry, 3 kits because one's back in stock. That's right. The shark. Oh, Harold is hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. The shark, squid, anglerfish, and crab kit is the Deep Sea Creatures kit is back in stock on Amazon. So I have that there. Those are inexpensive kits. I have some pricier Lego sets. I've got some high-grade kits, some master-grade kits, all different kinds of things, some paper crafts, some glue kits, all kinds of different stuff on there that I would be happy to build if you wanted to buy it. If you buy it from Amazon through my wish list, it'll arrive here in South Carolina where I'm at. I'll build the kit on stream, and then I will thank you in a video called the mailbag video, and I'll also build the kit ahead of my backlog. It'll jump the queue like this kit did, like the Lego set we're about to build did. That's a way to support me. If you're like, Pat, I am not interested in buying anything from Amazon. I understand. You could also buy a gift card from USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card, they send you an email with the code, you message me, DM me on Twitter or whisper me here on Twitch and go like, here you go. Here's this code, and I'll buy something. I appreciate that very much if that's something you'd like to do. You're under no obligation to do any of those things, but if you want to gift a sub, do bits and coins, subscribe if you haven't in a while, all those things really help me, and I appreciate it very much. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. I'm going to link to a couple of videos that I think are pretty neat, and then we're going to get back into, we're going to finish this kit up, we'll take some photos, then we're going to start our Lego set. But first and foremost, let me just say Pat Bear's Anime Club is every other Monday. It is a stream that I do. YouTube series I do, not a stream. This is the stream. YouTube series where I discuss a different topic or theme. In this video, I talk about some YouTube commentary channels that I like and news channels that I like and content channels. Other people that talk about YouTube, and most of these people are primarily talking about YouTube. So I thought that would be kind of fun to talk about some of the stuff that I go and check out. And maybe you found a new favorite in there. Also, I have Baering the List. Do you want to hear me rank Pringles and watch me rank Pringles flavors? Well, that's what this week's video was. I ranked Pringles. Next week is another one about food, and I think it was pretty good. So yeah, I do a weekly video series every Wednesday called Baering the List. Last year I did improvised characters. Every year now I'm going to do a weekly thing that comes out like every week that is a different little mini series. Just kind of like try some stuff out. I don't know what I'm going to do next year. Luckily, it's still just August. But I'll do something different. I'm only going to do this 52 times, just like I did improvised characters 52 times. That has been really fun for me to do. So I think I'm going to keep up with that. Anyway, I'm going to drink some water. We're going to take some I'm going to take some photos. I'm going to do the mix and match thing, and then we're going to get into a Lego set. And of course, we'll talk about anime that came out in the last couple days. Thank you for bearing with me during my spiel, or my promotional spiel. Anyway, so I got to take some photos of this because I always take photos. On my Discord, which you should join if you haven't already, I post photos after every stream of the progress I made on the kits I'm working on. So we completed the arc here, and then here is the arc, and it's and the Lancer. So we will take a photo of the arc and the Lancer together. And now we will mix and match them. And by mix and match, I mean you take the top of one and this thing popped off, which it always wants to do because it's bad. And then these popped off as well. I told you, the worst part is these booster rocket things, these part that go on the skirt. They are the worst part of this kit. Alright, so we're going to pop that in there. And then this is the thing you can do. You can just mix and match And I figured, well, if I've got both of them, I might as well do that. Is there a good reason to do that? No. Do they tell you you can? Yes. So we'll just do that. Great. That's the end of this kit. Lashbrook there, thank you very much for picking this up. I'm glad I had it while I still had the other kit, so I could do the mixing and mashing of these. But now we're going to work on this Lego set. And we're also going to talk about anime. So let's talk about some anime. Wasn't there a second way to combine them? Yes, you're actually, Lashbrook, you're right. There is a second way, and we can do the second way to combine them. You're right. I forgot about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off here. We're going to take this off here. Put these aside. We'll do this, and these come. Let's see. I think we only need parts of this. So you were right. I forgot about that. It's the color pages of this one. Some of the color pages of this one. There is a different way to combine them. So we take this off, this off, this off. Take these off. Then we take these off, these off. And where did... there it is. Usually stayed on this time. Okay, so we take this part off. Yeah, so I had forgotten there's a way to just combine like some of the armor pieces. So that goes like this. And then this goes like this. Oops. So that goes together like that. And then these go together. Oops, that fell off. And this goes on the back of this. So now it's an extended butt. And then you can take the shield, combines that. And then, yeah, then you can hold the shield, which is not much of a combination, but is a thing that you can do. Alright, yeah, so they could mix and match that way, if that's what you want to do. It does not want to stay on rail. That is the problem with the fact that you can do this. Well, so there are some issues with these kits. I think they look neat, and I like the colors a lot. My number one issue with both of these, both the Arc and the Lancer, is the back like rocket boosters things. One, I think looks silly, and two, I just think don't this is a cooler combination. I think it is a cooler combination. But yeah, I think that they don't fit right the way, because these have to be able to detach, right? Because they have to detach, the way that the top booster goes in, the bottom booster, it doesn't fit well, in my opinion. I do agree with you. I think this is a better combination. Dirty says, is there a Gundam kit that looks like this? And then you put a link in the chat. And yeah, and you got yourself something that looks like a basically like, what if a Centaur was, and a Knight were a Gundam. And you said, and then you mentioned the Kamaris Trooper. Yes. Also, the Army HG. Uh, what's it? Build fighters. I'm trying to remember which one it was. There's that four. There's the thing that's not the Death Army kit that's from Gundam Build, but it has like a bunch of legs. Uh, I found the Centaur, the Nightmare Centaur. Yeah. Um, so does anybody remember what the name of the kit is? That is not the. It's based on the Death Army kit, but it's from Build Fighters. Um, Build Fighters. Inspired by Death Army. Um, let's see. Can't find it, but that's what I was looking for. Um, but that basically there's a Death Army version of that that has multiple legs that is a bit more like a centaur than you were talking about. It doesn't have the horse body, so it is different. Um, uh, and then you're linking to that is yeah, I mean, I think that must be a custom kit because that looks like the Unicorn Gundam if the Unicorn Gundam was a unicorn instead of just a main ass Gundam, which it is mostly. Um, what? What? Who are these lovely people that give me subs to channels I'm not watching? Is it because somebody must have gave me a shout out? But somebody just gifted me a tier 1 sub to, hey, Sly TQ, aka TQ, aka the lovely TQ, must have mentioned me on her stream, and I just got a gift sub from an anonymous gifter. I'm not watching that stream. I'm doing this, so that's just lovely. That is an odd thing that just happened. Anyway, we're gonna finish this combination here. The other way it's combined. Take a photo of that. But now let's work on a Lego set. You randomly slide through a channel and sell yourself. I mean, for me, it's that my guess is that TQ mentioned me because I believe that TQ is going to be on the same stream I'm going to be on. Because I believe TQ, don't quote me on this, but I believe TQ is also going to be on the Kathleen's Island Tour stream that I am doing this Sunday. If you're around this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific, at Loading Ready Run's Twitter channel, I am going to be a guest on Kathleen's Island Tour, which is an Animal Crossing stream. It is a lovely Animal Crossing stream. They have Loading Ready Run has a fantastic community of lovely individuals, and they go check out those community things. They also do the dream thing where they're going to like some specialty odd islands by dreaming, which is a weird thing. But that is a thing that happens now in the game. So we're going to be assembling pieces here, coordinating pieces by color, just to make it easier to find those things. Black and red and white and light gray and dark gray and other. Usually I do other if it's not that many of them. I've got to put white together with blue because there's not that many of these. So it'll be easy enough to find them and clear. Sometimes I will like organize them. I generally just organize by color and then sometimes shape within that color. But traditionally just doing that helps a lot. And we got to talk about anime. So it's time to talk about the anime that came out since Monday. I'll give you some reviews here. Oh wow, I completely forgot to try that dream thing. Yeah, Lastbrook, it's pretty weird. You can just visit people and you can't do a lot of stuff except explore their weird islands. Last week, Kathleen's tour went to like a desert island. It had been done up like it was really cool and really interesting, and totally worth checking out if you haven't been if you haven't done Animal Crossing in a while. And I understand if you haven't. But anyway, Black Clover. I'm going to talk to you a bit about Black Clover. So, supposedly this filler arc is ending, which will be great because I am kind of done with the filler arc. This week's episode was not as good as some of the other filler episodes have been. Last week's was still probably the worst, as I said, mainly because I think Zora sucks. Uh, in the words of that one IGN podcast that's not around anymore, yay anime. Indeed. Um, so Vanessa. Now, Vanessa is a complicated character in that at first I didn't like her because she was very typical, like, oh, this is the. She seems to be kind of like womanly, but that means slutty. And she is flirtatious, which isn't a problem by any means. But she's like a drunkard, and I'm like, this character's been done, and I'm so sick of that. Well, it turns out, hey, Vanessa has layers. There's other stuff going on with Vanessa, um, and her backstory is one of the more interesting things. She was raised in the witches' forest, which is only witches, female wizards, live there, and they often are people with extraordinary powers and are abandoned there, or they are sometimes, like they end up there on their own volition. Um, but they're there. There was a major story arc that happened in this island, in the forest. The queen is probably not a nice person, but is also kind of a nice person. Like, she definitely was up to some bullshit, but she does a lot of means to an end that is like, this is not, you are not cool, but you also care very much about the people that you are in charge of. So there's a little bit of respect there. Anyway, um, Vanessa wants to know from the Queen of Witches how to make the Black Bulls stronger, because this whole arc is them powering up for a future battle against a demon. Uh, and it's basically like, I can't tell you ancient magic, but I have a task for you. So do this task for me. Well, the task is to get a bunch of magical beasts to, like, get out of the area. And she can't do it alone. But she has Samantha and Elvira, who are witches we haven't seen before. We saw a lot of witches in the fight that they had. Turns out these witches did not help with that fight because they are freaked the fuck out by and are kind of feel like they get made fun of, and they're kind of like low end on the totem pole. One of them, they're both awkward. One of them is like very apologetic. She just controls sounds. She can make sounds happen. That's her magic. That's it. And the other one does illusion magic, but she doesn't do a lot of different kinds of illusion magic. She just does one, but they're also kind of afraid. So it's very clear that to Vanessa that this task is not for her to get rid of these magical beasts. It's for her to, like, give these two girls confidence and a win, and like make them contribute, because the Queen of the Witches is like, there's going to be these battles. I need to know that what everyone is capable of, and have everyone do their part. And so also Domina is there briefly. Domina is selling stuff and kind of encourages her. She is the wife of. She's also from the forest, but she is the wife of the dude that trained Asta had a sword fight that used to be in the Diamond Kingdom. It's a whole thing. Anyway, she's kind of there. It doesn't really matter. But Vanessa figures out how to use their powers together, and she learns an important lesson. It's about gradually getting stronger and them all doing it all together, because she wants to protect her found family, her real family, which is the Black Bulls, which she knew before she got there. But the other girls get confidence because the Witch Queen shows them, like, them accomplishing this thing, and they're like, "Oh, you can control sound stuff. Like, I don't know how to do that, or we never would have been able to do that." And they get, like, confidence, and, like, look, it's a filler episode. It's a one-off filler episode. We're never going to see these characters again, because they won't be, when we see the Witch's Forest again, they won't be included probably, because it's filler. But, like, it was a nice little episode. There was a nice touching moment between Yami and and Vanessa, where, like, he's like, "Oh, hey, welcome back. You want to have that drink?" And she's like, "I always wanted to have a drink with you." We'll wait. Yes, Witch Queen. The Witch Queen, Harold. I get your jokes. You got them. You got jokes. All right, so we're gonna work on this here. So like I said, not the strongest episode in the series, but certainly an interesting one that I was. And I guess next week we're gonna get more action. Um, so that'll be good. Because I would like to see a few more people power up. But yeah, the other episodes featured characters like unlocking new abilities or like getting more confident in in what they can do. This one was just like Vanessa learned a valuable lesson that she already learned in another episode. And you're like, okay. So that was that. Second thing I want to talk to you is about. Oh yeah, what a cute, what a cute episode of Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. Holy shit, this was a cute episode. So lately, we've been doing like 2 half episodes. You know, like the first half is this thing happened, the second half this thing happened. So the first half is, he's really focused on Ono. Makoto Ono is, or Ono Makoto, if you want to be correct about it. Ono, I'm just going to call her because everyone calls her Ono Senpai. Ono is she's the sophomore in high school. She's very knowledgeable about fishing, and she's also like tall and kind of and big, and so but also like a sweetheart. She is she doesn't really say a lot, but she like knows a lot about fishing and just seems like just like a sweet gal. She's just like a great minor character, right? She's a supporting character. Um, well, anyway, Hina, our main character, asks her about this hook that her grandpa had in his collection, and it's for catching rockfish. And Ono apparently really likes rock fishing and gets really excited talking about it, and the other girls are really enjoying that because she's so talkative about the subject, and it's so unlike her. There's a lot of her in this episode, and it's great. So the president is like, of the club is like, all right, well, let's go catch some rockfish, the light rockfish. And then Ono is animated about it, and it's implied that she fell in the water as a kid because that's why she always wears a life jacket. So she's like, okay, well, you got to wear a life jacket and blah, blah, blah. And Hina gets a scorpion fish, which they call Scorpies. And I think that Scorpy is a great name for this thing. But yeah, so Hina catches a scorpion fish. They catch a bunch of fishes, which is great. There's a lot of safety talk, lots of safety talk. And we find out that Ono wears a life jacket all the time because she once fell in the water and nearly drowned, and now she's even afraid to swim, which is like a lot of character development for one of my favorite characters in the show. It was just great how she was like hovering around Hina and being very protective and very like insistent. Like apparently they're all going to get life jackets because as her assistants that they all have them because it to her it doesn't make sense that they don't all have them. She is just a sweetheart of a character and great. And then also gets really embarrassed when they find out that she's afraid of the water, even though she's just big and strong. So that's the first half of the episode. Second half of the episode, not really about fishing, just about the characters, which I think is great. Midterms are coming up, and Hina has forgotten to study. Hina and Natsumi are going to study. Natsumi is the fangirl. She is the childhood friend when Hina was very little, and they got reunited in fishing. And she is like, she's an accomplished fisher. She's been doing it 'cause she grew up in this fishing community, so she knows what's up. So she is like, whatever. But also, hey, let's study. So they go to Natsumi's place, and Natsumi lives above a Western-style like restaurant, which is just a neat like, little thing that happens there. And Natsumi's mom remembers Hina, and they're very much like mother and daughter. Also, Natsumi is wearing glasses, which she usually wears contacts, and she looks pretty studious in them, and that is referenced in the episode. And then we find out that Hina kind of like, she clarifies it, but she basically says like, looking around Natsumi's room, she's like, oh, I've never been in a friend's room before. Because she had friends, but they always came over to her place because she has so many supplies. Anyway, they study, they eat at the place, which is nice. And then Natsumi wants to learn some crafting because Hina has learned so much fishing stuff that she wants to learn some crafting things. and start a fun project, starting the basics. And that's how the episode ends. As I said, to me, even though the show is about this fishing club, it's really about the characters, and it is. This was probably the chillest of the episodes. And this series is not always super chill. It's definitely a slice of life, but sometimes it does tend to be a little, uh, uh, not mean, but less like breezy. It's not that breezy of a series. So I thought this episode was fun, and I was into it. I had a good time watching it, uh, and I really liked the show. If you're looking for a slice of life this season, this is the one because it is literally the slice of life this season. We're gonna get more, I think, next season, but we really, yeah, really, right now, if you want that kind of a show, this is the one to watch. And then Decadence. Holy shit, a lot happened in this episode. The number one thing that happened in this episode was feelings. People talked about their feelings. It wasn't so much fighting action. There was almost no fighting action. There was some, but it was mostly about characters talking about their wants and their philosophies. And I eat that shit up. Decadence has been fantastic. Highly recommend it. It's on Funimation. And I maybe Hulu, but I know Funimation definitely. But um, so Kabagari is in basically in a a facility and can't get out, and is worried about Natsume, our main character. So he enters the game illegally, but he's in a different body and he looks like a gear. He doesn't look like a human. Uh, it's kind of neat because we see a cutscene and the HUD like he was starting up the game for the first time, which is kind of interesting. And we see the person welcoming them is the person who he poses as a human, who is I forget the guy. Oh, Minato, who is the commander, but is another artificial intelligence posing as a human, or android, I should say, probably posing as a human. Um, so, oh, it looks like Gabdolls enter the tanker, which has never happened before, but we're going to find out why in a little bit. But anyway, they enter the tanker, and these are the monsters, and so some of the tankers can fight them off. Some of the soldiers are able to fight them off, including Kabu in his new body. He's awkward in it, trying to figure out how to use it, but he managed to do it. He doesn't get a chance to talk to Natsume, who does also take out and help people, so she gets to do that. So Kabu meets with Minato, who is he is the reason why Kabuto didn't get scrapped. Apparently, this guy decided to go to a re-education facility instead, and we find out that there are too many humans for the space. And so they need to quell the numbers. And the incursion that happened is to lower their numbers as the game happens, and to make it feel natural. So there's a big hole in the tank in Decadence, and Gadolls could come in at any time, which is bad for the humans. So the tankers are meeting about the hole, and Natsume tries to get other humans, like the Butcher Club and some of the repair people, to help out with the repairs so they can collect repair kits and like figure it out. And surprisingly, it works. She does have a heart-to-heart with Faye, who is her friend, who has been just did not want her to become a soldier, wanted her to stay healthy and stay safe. Her big thing is, they have this conversation of, I didn't want you to change. I wanted things to be the way they were. Whereas Natsume was always trying to change and get stronger to help people. But a lot of people they're starting to get them help. They're trying to get the hole patched up, because even though that's not part of the plan is for them to slowly get dwindled down. Good night, Harold. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. And so in this new body, that obviously is not his body, we get a conversation between Kabu and Natsumi. And Natsumi knows that Kabu won't be coming back, but even though she doesn't know why. They have a really good character talk in that about. Uh, she basically is like, boss never has fun. He doesn't eat. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink milk, which is like a delicacy. Um, and I don't know what kind of milk that is. So, but yeah, he doesn't have any fun. And if you don't have any fun, then you don't have any reason to live. Uh, you're not really living, which is like a lot for a young girl or a young anyone to have as their main character philosophy. But that is the philosophy of this character. It just got interesting, and then that ends, and Kabu tells the other renegade bots in this facility that he's in, I'm going to throw a party. We're going to destroy the Gadol factory that's above them because they're in the waste processing area. Uh, and that is the new plan. The new plan is that he's going to enact. That's what the story we're going to see is him trying to get rid of the factory that creates all of these monsters, so that the humans don't get wiped out. Uh, which is an ambitious plan that I bet doesn't go exactly as he would like. I'm sure. Uh, that's pretty messed up. But that's the end of that episode of DECA-DENCE. I will say my biggest issue with this show, if I have any criticism of the show, is I wish it was more about Natsume and less about Kabu. I kind of got sold a bill of goods that this was a show, like a coming of age story about a girl finding her own inner strength, and it is, but it is not fully that. It is it is her story and his story, and I I like his story, but that's not what was sold to me. Um, it seemed like he was going to just be more of an instructor as she got better at things. Obviously, I didn't know about the mystery of the show and all that other stuff, but like, yeah, basically, as I feel, um, it's very solid. It's a very solid show. It's beautiful looking. Oh God, it's gorgeous. Totally recommend it. But it is, yeah, I would say that overall, it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, and I would love a little bit more of her, maybe a little less of him. But whatever. It's still good. And then, as I said, I'm done watching Gibate because it's just not vibing with me. So we're gonna keep working on this. We got some time left in the stream here before we'll go and raid. We always try to end a stream with a raid. I'm gonna keep working on this kit. Basically, I'm gonna build this car and then take it apart and then build a plane. And then so I got the car, then we build the plane, then we build the roadster, and that is the three phases of this kit. And that is what we'll do here, because this is a nice little 3-in-1 Lego set. So we're going to keep working on that. I mentioned my next build stream is on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then this Sunday, as I mentioned, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific, I will be on Loading Ready Run, the Twitch channel. I don't ever rate them because they usually end their streams shortly after my stream ends. If they go past 11, it's because they are Eastern. It's because they are doing like reading their subs because they're a big channel. So I don't end up rating them just because that just ends up happening. But I'm very happy to be on to be joining Kathleen's stream again. I've done it once before. I don't play Animal Crossing, so we're not going to see my island or anything like that. I'm just coming in to hang out and give some commentary and to basically, talk about what I like and ask questions and all that other stuff. Be there as another voice, a friendly voice. It's always a pleasure to do stuff with them. I'd like to do more guesting of things. Like, obviously, like, I stream 4 times a week, so that takes those times out. But there are other times, there are other channels. I wouldn't mind getting involved now and again with some other stuff because it's fun. I'm investigating uh, OBS.Ninja. OBS.Ninja is a peer-to-peer webcam thing where you basically you can capture a bunch of different people's webcams over the internet, and then um, you get a browser like address, so that way you can import them in OBS as a browser source, which is supposedly like way better. At the very least, it allows you to be uniform. Um, I've been using Jitsi for that when I have to have multiple people in and I need to have their webcams, but I want them to see me, because that's the problem um, with like Google Hangout is you have to trick it's complicated to trick Google Hangout to have you show up in that, or you have to be your own source in OBS outside of it, and then if you do that, then the people you're on the call with can't see you, and I think that's annoying. So I have been looking into alternatives, and one of them is OBS Ninja. But I want to talk to people that have actually used it, because I don't know. Because I would like to have guests on streams in the future for my bonus streams. I believe next week's bonus stream is going to be Hearthstone. I think I put a poll up, and right now it is, I think, winning. Um, I gotta put a poll up for what I do after I'm done with my Lego. Uh, but I think that is that is what's winning right now on my Patreon. I'm gonna look right now to see what is winning for next week's bonus stream. Yeah, right now Hearthstone is winning. I had Pokemon Emerald randomizer, not doing a Nuzlocke, just doing a randomizer, because I really do want to do another Pokemon stream, but I don't have it in me to do Nuzlocks. So I think I would just do a randomizer, Hearthstone, and then another thing where I make a bunch of CPU matches in Fire Pro Wrestling World, and then just do commentary over that. That was another option. But right now it looks like Hearthstone's winning. I do have a new deck since I last played Hearthstone on stream, so so I'd be happy to bust that out, and I might have another new one by Monday or by Wednesday. I don't know. Um, Working on this car. We got a little time left in the stream. If there's anything you want to chat about, anything you're excited about, looking forward to this week, feel free to let me know. Uh, uh, I'm always happy to hear from you. If there's something you want to chat about, you got questions for me. Um, I'm not going to get Flight Simulator because I don't play flight simulator games, but I'm definitely happy for folks that do and are super excited about it. That looks very cool. But yeah, that's not my bag. That's never been my bag. But that seems neat. I'm mostly interested in Control, the Alan Wake stuff. I'm definitely interested in that. That's the thing I'm probably looking forward to the most right now. Um, although I do kind of want to try out that new Jeff Minter game. That does seem neat. I'm really bummed I can't get Flight Sim to run well on my PC. Yeah, looks Splashbrook. That seems to be a common thing. That seems to be I wouldn't call it next gen, but definitely folks that were getting away with stuff before are don't seem to be getting away with anything with this game. There hopefully will be optimization. Like, they're basically working a lot on bugs and especially the downloader issues. But hopefully they will also be able to work on some lower settings for stuff. Or there will be like Reddit threads dedicated to, well, you want to turn this thing down and you want to turn this up and it runs smooth. If you have this graphics card, you got to turn these settings off and turn these shaders down, like that kind of thing. Hopefully it'll work better. I do want to point out, I always point out when one of these pieces comes into my my zone, my viewing here. This was always lasers on a model kit. If I was building a model kit, not model kit, a Lego set. If I was free building a Lego set and it was a plane, then these would be lasers or guns. That was the go-to. And now they just look neat. But yeah, that was always be if I was free building. I almost said something else that was not right. Free building. If I was free building, that'd be that. I have thought about doing a free build stream. I don't have all my Lego. I used to have a lot of Lego stuff right now, and I don't have it all with me now, but I'm thinking that a few kits from now, I will have enough Lego uh, from just doing enough of these kits, and I'm saving all the Lego because eventually I'll have a big enough box that I will then send out to charity. But right now I'm keeping all of them, but eventually I'll have enough that I can just have a huge amount like on the table and like make something. But I kind of want to do that. I've been saving that basically for like if I run low on my like if I'm like running out of model kits to build and I have stuff coming but I don't know when. Like I have a kit coming in September. I have two kits coming in September. The Gundam Death Scythe and the Tall Geese 2, real grade. I don't know when in September those are coming. In October, I have the Cup Noodle and the Ultimate Gohan. I don't know when those are going to come. So it's like, well, I know I have some kits coming that I pre-ordered, before, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get those. So if I don't know when I'm going to get them, I can't, like guarantee it. So if there's ever a gap in my streams, then or my builds, then I can always just be like, oh well, I have all these Legos pieces here. Let me just take all of them and see what we can build. That could be a fun thing, but like I said, I'm kind of saving that for a when I gotta pull when I gotta break the emergency glass. When it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. See what I've got. And okay, oops. Nope, this is on wrong. Nope. All right. This car is coming together nice and easy. This will be, yeah, I think on Saturday we will finish up this and we will completely do the other two, definitely. So I got to get, I'm going to have a poll out for my $10 patrons who get to vote on what I build about what they want me to build next from the options I have left. I put the wrong piece on here. I'm like, why won't this go on? Because it's the wrong one. It's not this piece. It's this piece. That's why it didn't work. Because it was wrong, folks. It was wrong. All right, we're going to put that on there. And then we're going to stop there because we've got, we can start with the rest of this here. We don't have a lot left on this, but we do have, a bit left to put it together on the car. But we'll stop there. I'll take one photo of this, and we're gonna wrap up and get ready to finish the stream. We got some Lego here. Car. And we're gonna raid. So let me go and figure out who we're gonna go and raid. In just a moment. Ooh, also we did drop some frames there, but it was very brief, so that's good. But we're going to go and check out because someone gifted me a sub, we are going to go and raid TQ. TQ is playing Luigi's Mansion, which will be fun. I haven't seen that game in a while, and as I said, TQ is lovely. So we're going to go give TQ a raid. Feel free to come along. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you're more than welcome to come along to check out a fun person with a lovely community. Just like a real nice, cool streamer. Maybe you don't know. So feel free to come along that raid. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to hang out on Saturday for my build stream, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern. You're more than welcome to come along for that. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday or wherever it is where you are. And I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.